When receptionist Sky Daniels agrees to pose as billionaire Cole Remington's date for one night, neither expects real sparks. But secrets, sabotage, and a scandal threaten more than their hearts. Before we get into the story, comment below where in the world you are watching from today. Sky Daniels sighed as she straightened the stack of papers on her desk. Another day, another dollar. Working at the front desk of Elegant Spaces, one of New York's most prestigious interior design firms, was just a job. A good job with benefits, but still just a job. She wasn't like the executives who barely noticed her as they rushed past in their designer clothes. She was invisible, and that was exactly how she wanted it. After escaping her relationship with Derek 2 years ago, Sky had promised herself she'd never again be with someone who tried to control her. Derek had started out charming, but slowly isolated her from friends and family. By the time she left, she barely recognized herself. Now at 25, she had her own small apartment, was saving for night classes and kept to herself. No drama, no complications. "Morning, Annie," Sky said, handing a coffee to the other receptionist as she arrived. "You're a lifesaver," Annie replied, taking a grateful sip. "Did you hear the news? Cole Remington is in the building today." Sky raised an eyebrow. "The CEO? What's he doing here? Quarterly review or something?" Everyone's in a panic. Miranda from HR said he fired 3 executives at the Chicago office last month. Cole Remington had taken over Remington Holdings 2 years ago after his father's retirement. The company owned several businesses, including Elegant Spaces. Sky had seen his photo in the business magazines that came to the office. Tall, dark-haired, serious eyes that seemed to look right through you. The gossip was that he was brilliant but cold, demanding perfection and offering little praise. "Well, he won't even notice us," Sky said, turning on her computer. "We're just the help." The morning passed in a blur of phone calls and appointments. Sky was scheduling a client meeting when the elevator doors opened and several men in expensive suits walked out. She immediately recognized Cole Remington from his photos, though they didn't do him justice. He was taller than she expected, with broad shoulders and a face that belonged in movies rather than boardrooms. But it was his eyes that caught her attention, deep blue and tired, like he was carrying the weight of the world. The executives surrounding him were talking rapidly, showing him charts on tablets and pointing out design displays. Cole nodded, occasionally, but said little. As they approached the reception desk, Sky straightened her simple black blazer. "Good morning, Mr. Remington," she said professionally. "Welcome to Elegant Spaces." To her surprise, he stopped while the others continued toward the conference room. He looked at her nameplate. "Thank you, Ms. Daniels," he said, his voice deeper than she expected. Their eyes met briefly, and something passed between them. Recognition, perhaps. Not that they knew each other, but a sense that they saw each other, really saw. Then he was gone, following the executives down the hallway. "Did Cole Remington just speak to you?" Annie whispered, eyes wide. Sky shrugged. "Just being polite." But something about that brief interaction stayed with her all day. It wasn't attraction, though he was undeniably handsome, but the fleeting impression that beneath his perfect suit and controlled expression was someone tired, human. At 5:00, Sky was gathering her things when her phone rang. "Front desk, this is Sky. Ms. Daniels, this is Cole Remington. Could you come to the main conference room before you leave? I need to speak with you." Her stomach dropped. "Is there a problem, sir?" "No problem. Just need a moment of your time." Sky hung up, her mind racing. Was she in trouble? Had she done something wrong? Maybe he was doing some kind of company-wide evaluation and interviewing everyone. Annie shot her a concerned look. "You okay? You're pale." "Remington wants to see me." "In the conference room." Annie's eyes widened. "What did you do?" "Nothing. At least I don't think so." With shaking hands, Sky smoothed her hair and walked to the conference room. She knocked softly, then entered when she heard his voice. Cole Remington stood by the window, silhouetted against the Manhattan skyline. He'd removed his suit jacket, and his crisp white shirt emphasized his athletic build. He turned when she entered, and once again she was struck by how tired he looked up close. Thank you for coming, Ms. Daniels. Please sit. Skye perched on the edge of a chair, hands clasped tightly in her lap. Have I done something wrong, Mr. Remington? He smiled slightly. No. In fact, you're one of the few employees who received universally positive feedback in our review. He sat across from her. I have a proposition for you. A proposition? She repeated, confused. I need a date for the Rivera Charity Gala next Saturday. Skye stared at him. Surely she had misheard. I'm sorry, what? The Rivera Gala, he repeated patiently. It's an important charity event. All the major players in the industry will be there, plus board members, clients, and press. I need someone to accompany me. But why me? I'm just a receptionist. Cole leaned forward. The board thinks I'm too intimidating, bad for the company image. They want me to seem more approachable. So hire an actress, Skye said, then immediately regretted her bluntness. To her surprise, Cole laughed. It transformed his face, making him look younger. That's exactly what I mean. You're honest, not afraid to speak your mind. He studied her. Everyone in this company either fears me or wants something from me. But you, this morning, you looked at me like I was just a person. That's rare in my world, Miss Daniels. Skye felt her face flush. I still don't understand. You want me to pretend to be your girlfriend? Just for one night, he said. I'm not asking you to lie or be someone you're not. Just accompany me, be yourself. I'll pay you, of course, $10,000. Skye gasped. 10,000? Plus the dress, shoes, whatever you need. My assistant will arrange everything. Her head was spinning. $10,000 would cover her night classes for the next 2 years. But still, Mr. Remington, I don't like games. And I'm not comfortable pretending. I picked you because you're the only one here who looks at me like I'm human, he interrupted quietly. Not like a wallet or a stepping stone or a threat, just human. Something in his voice, vulnerability, beneath the confidence made her pause. She studied him, seeing past the expensive clothes and powerful position to the man underneath. He was successful, yes, but also isolated, surrounded by people who wanted things from him. One night, she said slowly. No lies. I won't pretend to be madly in love with you or anything like that. Agreed. And no physical expectations. He looked offended. Of course not. This is strictly professional. Skye took a deep breath. Was she really considering this? It seemed crazy, like something from a movie. Not her carefully controlled life, but $10,000? Okay, she heard herself saying. I'll do it. Cole nodded, all business again. Good. My assistant will contact you tomorrow with the details. Thank you, Ms. Daniels. As Skye walked out, she wondered what she had just agreed to. One night playing the girlfriend of one of New York's most eligible bachelors. What could possibly go wrong? The week passed in a blur. Cole's assistant, a no-nonsense woman named Patricia, arranged everything. A designer dress, midnight blue, elegant but not flashy, was delivered to Skye's apartment, along with shoes and a clutch that probably cost more than her monthly rent. Patricia also scheduled hair and makeup appointments for Saturday afternoon. Skye told no one about the arrangement, not even Annie. It was too strange to explain, and besides, it would be over after Saturday night. Just a bizarre blip in her otherwise ordinary life. Saturday evening arrived, and Skye barely recognized herself in the mirror. The stylist had swept her normally straight brown hair into loose waves, and the makeup artist had enhanced her green eyes with subtle shadow. The dress fit perfectly, making her look taller and more elegant than she felt. At exactly 7 p.m., her doorbell rang. Cole stood in the hallway, looking devastatingly handsome in a black tuxedo. He blinked when he saw her, genuine surprise crossing his face. "You look beautiful," he said. "Thank you," she replied, suddenly nervous. "So do you. I mean, handsome, not beautiful." He smiled at her, stammering, and again that smile transformed him. Ready to play pretend. A sleek black car waited downstairs. As they drove to the gala, Cole briefed her. "The board members will all be there, especially Thomas Whitaker. He's been trying to push me out since I took over. There will also be some old friends." The way he said friends made Skye think they were anything but. Anyone I should know about specifically. "Sophia Pierce," he said after a pause. We were engaged briefly last year. Engaged? That seems like important information, Mr. Remington. Cole, he corrected, and it was a mistake. She wanted the position, not me. Skye nodded, understanding more about why he'd asked someone like her, someone with no connection to his world, to accompany him tonight. The Rivera Museum was transformed for the gala, with crystal chandeliers and flower arrangements everywhere. As they entered, Skye felt eyes turn to them. "Just breathe," Cole whispered, his hand gentle on her lower back. "You'll be fine." The next hour was a whirlwind of introductions. Skye smiled and nodded, trying to remember names and positions. Cole stayed close, his hand occasionally touching hers, playing the attentive date. To her surprise, he seemed different here, more relaxed, smiling more often. But Skye noticed how the smile never quite reached his eyes, except when he looked at her. They were at the bar when a stunning blonde in a red dress approached. "Cole, darling," she said, kissing his cheek. "How lovely to see you." "Sophia," he replied, his posture stiffening slightly. "You remember Sophia Pierce," he said to Skye. "Sophia, this is Skye Daniels." Sophia's eyes narrowed as she assessed Skye. "Charmed. Where did you two meet?" Before Cole could answer, Skye spoke. "At work. I'm a receptionist at Elegant Spaces." Sophia's perfectly shaped eyebrows rose. "A receptionist? How unexpected." "Sometimes the unexpected turns out to be exactly what we need," Cole said smoothly, his hand finding Skye's. Sophia's smile tightened. "Well, I'm sure you two have lots to talk about, like decorating tips." She glided away, her red dress aflame in the crowd. "Sorry about that," Cole murmured. "It's fine," Skye said, "though I'm starting to understand why you needed backup tonight." As the evening progressed, Skye found herself actually enjoying Cole's company. Behind the CEO facade, he was intelligent, with a dry sense of humor she hadn't expected. He listened when she spoke, really listened, asking questions about her dreams and plans. "Why night classes in design?" he asked as they swayed to the music on the dance floor, his hand warm on her waist. "I've always loved creating spaces that tell a story," she admitted. "Before I worked at Elegant Spaces, I was with my ex, Derek. He didn't support my dreams. Said they were impractical." Cole's jaw tightened. "He sounds like an idiot." The simple defense warmed her. "He was, but leaving him was the best decision I ever made. Now I'm rebuilding, one step at a time." Cole looked down at her, his eyes sincere. "You're remarkable, Skye Daniels." The moment stretched between them, something real amidst all the pretending. Then an elderly man approached, breaking the spell. "Cole, who's this lovely young lady?" "Mr. Rivera, meet Skye Daniels. Skye, Antonio Rivera, our generous host." Mr. Rivera beamed at her. Such a welcome change to see Cole with someone who makes him smile. Real smiles, not those press conference ones. Skye felt Cole squeeze her hand in warning, but she couldn't help asking, "Has he been unhappy?" Mr. Rivera's expression softened. "Running an empire isn't easy, especially when you're trying to live up to a father's legacy. Some people," his eyes drifted to where Thomas Whitaker stood with a group of board members, "make it harder than it needs to be." As the night continued, Skye began to piece together the true state of affairs. Cole wasn't just bringing her to soften his image. He was fighting for control of his company. Whitaker and several board members wanted to sell parts of Remington Holdings, including Elegant Spaces, to a rival company. Cole was resisting, trying to protect the businesses and employees. Near midnight, they stepped onto a balcony for air. The night was cool, stars barely visible above the city lights. "Thank you," Cole said quietly. "You've been perfect tonight." "It wasn't what I expected," Skye admitted. "You're not what I expected." He turned to face her. "What did you expect?" "Someone. Colder, more arrogant." Cole smiled ruefully. "That's the mask I wear at work. It's easier than letting people close." "Why?" "Because when they get close, they want things. Position, money, influence." He looked out at the city. "My father taught me that. Never trust. Affection that comes too easily." Skye's heart ached for him. So much success and so little trust in real connection. "Not everyone wants something from you, Cole." "What do you want?" he asked softly. Their eyes met, and the air between them seemed to charge with electricity. For a moment, Sky thought he might kiss her, and more surprising, she wanted him to, but then he stepped back, breaking the moment. "We should go back inside," he said, his voice controlled again. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. At 1, Hyam Cole's driver took them back to Sky's apartment. At her door, there was an awkward pause. "Thank you again," Cole said formally. "Patricia will arrange the payment tomorrow." The mention of money stung, reminding Sky this had been a transaction, not a real date. "Right. Well, good night." "Good night, Sky." She watched him walk away, telling herself it was relief she felt, not disappointment. Tomorrow, things would go back to normal. She would be invisible Sky Daniels again, and he would be untouchable Cole Remington. Tonight had been pretend, just pretend. Monday morning, Sky arrived at work early. The payment had been transferred to her account as promised. Life-changing. Money that would fund her education and future. She should feel thrilled. Instead, she felt strangely empty. "Earth to Sky," Annie said, waving a hand in front of her face. "How you've been distracted all morning. Everything okay?" "Fine," Sky lied. "Just tired." At lunch, she went to her locker to get her salad. When she opened it, she froze. A single red rose lay inside, with a handwritten note. "I'm still pretending. We're strangers, but my heart already knows your name." Sky stared at the rose and note, her heart pounding. Cole Remington, CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, had left her a flower and a note that sounded dangerously like feelings. Real feelings, not the pretend kind they'd agreed on. She quickly shut her locker and glanced around. But the break room was empty. What was she supposed to do now? Ignore it? Thank him? The payment had already been transferred to her account. Their arrangement was complete, yet the memory of dancing with him, of the way his eyes had softened when he looked at her, made her stomach flutter. No, she told herself firmly. This was exactly how her relationship with Derek had started. Charming, gestures, sweet words. She'd promised herself never again. When she returned to her desk, Annie was watching her curiously. "Did you see the news?" Annie asked, sliding her phone across the desk. Sky looked down at the screen and froze. There, on the society page of the New York Times website, was a photo of her and Cole at the gala. The headline read, "Remington's Mystery Woman. Who is the CEO's new love?" "That's you," Annie exclaimed. "With Cole Remington, why didn't you tell me?" Sky sank into her chair, stunned. "It's not what it looks like." "Then what is it?" "Because it looks like you were on a date with the CEO." Before Sky could answer, her phone rang. It was Patricia, Cole's assistant. "Ms. Daniels, Mr. Remington would like to see you in his office. At Remington Tower during your lunch break. The car will pick you up at 12:30. "I can't just leave it. It's been cleared with your supervisor." The line went dead. Sky put down the phone, feeling trapped. This was spiraling out of control. One night had turned into headline news, and now Cole was summoning her to his office. What was going on? At 12:30, a black car waited outside. The driver opened the door without a word, and 20 minutes later, Sky was stepping into the imposing Remington Tower in Midtown Manhattan. Patricia met her in the lobby, a tall woman with a sleek bob and sharp eyes. "This way, Ms. Daniels." They rode the elevator to the top floor in silence. Patricia led her to a massive corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Cole stood by the window, just as he had that first day in the conference room. "Thank you, Patricia," he said without turning around. The assistant left, closing the door behind her. Sky stood awkwardly in the middle of the room. "You wanted to see me?" Cole turned, his expression unreadable. "I'm sorry about the press. I didn't think they'd run that photo." "It's fine," Sky said, though it wasn't. "It will blow over." "Will it?" He crossed to his desk and picked up several newspapers. Every society column in the city is speculating about us. Who you are, how we met, if it's serious. Sky's hands clenched. "I don't understand. Why do they care so much who you date?" "Because I don't date," Cole said bluntly. "Not since Sophia. And because you're not your usual type," Sky finished. "A nobody." His eyes flashed. "I never said that." "You didn't have to. This was supposed to be one night, Cole. Now it's complicated." He moved closer, his expression softening. Did you get my rose? Sky's cheeks warmed. Yes, it was nice but unnecessary. The payment was enough. Something flickered in Cole's eyes. Hurt. Is that what you think this is about? The payment? Isn't it? We had an arrangement. It's done. Now, Cole ran a hand through his hair, a surprisingly human gesture from someone usually so controlled. The gala wasn't what I expected, Sky. You weren't what I expected. Her heart beat faster. What are you saying? I'm saying I enjoyed your company. I'm saying when you looked at me, you saw me. Not the CEO, not the Remington name, just me. He took another step closer. I'm asking if you'd have dinner with me. A real date this time, no pretending. Sky backed away slightly, overwhelmed by his intensity and her own confused feelings. I don't think that's a good idea. You're my boss. Technically, I'm your boss's boss. Despite herself, Sky smiled. That doesn't make it better. 1. Dinner, Cole pressed. If you still feel it's a bad idea afterward, I'll never mention it again. Sky looked at him, really looked. Behind the confident exterior, she saw uncertainty, even vulnerability. This powerful man was nervous about her answer. What about the press? Won't they just make it worse? We'll go somewhere private, no cameras. She should say no. She had promised herself no more complications, no more men who could turn her life upside down. But something about Cole Remington made her want to break that promise. 1 dinner, she agreed finally. That's all. Cole's smile was genuine, lighting up his entire face. I'll pick you up at 7 tomorrow. Back at work, Sky felt like she was walking in a dream. Had she really agreed to date Cole Remington? Annie peppered her with questions, but Sky kept her answers vague. Even she didn't know what was happening. That night, she called her best friend, Megan, the one person she trusted completely. He's the CEO, Meg. This is crazy. It's crazy in a fairy tale way, Megan argued. Handsome executive falls for the everyday girl. This isn't a fairy tale, it's real life. And in real life, men like Cole Remington don't end up with receptionists like me. Why not? You're smart, beautiful, kind, and he could have anyone. Models, socialites, business executives. Maybe he doesn't want them, Megan said gently. Maybe he wants someone real. Sky sighed, remembering Cole's words. I picked you because you're the only one here who looks at me like I'm human. The next evening, Sky chose a simple blue dress. Nothing fancy, but it brought out her eyes. At 7, her doorbell rang. Cole stood there in casual clothes, dark jeans and a grey sweater that made his eyes look stormy blue. You look beautiful, he said, his gaze warm. The restaurant was small and intimate, tucked away on a side street. The owner greeted Cole like an old friend and led them to a private table in the back. How do you know this place? Sky asked as they settled in. My mother loved it. She used to bring me here when I was a kid before she got sick. The personal details surprised her. I'm sorry about your mother. Cole nodded, a shadow crossing his face. She died when I was 12. Cancer. After that, it was just my father and me. He took a sip of water. He wasn't emotionally available. Business always came first. Is that why you work so hard? To please him? Cole looked surprised by her insight. Partly. And partly because work is something I can control. He studied her. What about your family? Mom and Dad are in Ohio. They're good people. Simple life. I'm the only one who moved to New York. My sister Lily lives near them with her husband and kids. Do you see them often? Sky shifted uncomfortably. Not as much as I should. When I was with Derek, he isolated me from them. Said they were holding me back. Cole's expression darkened. Classic control tactic. You sound like you've seen it before. My father did it to my mother. Not maliciously, but he cut her off from her friends, her interests. Everything became about the Remington name. The Remington legacy. Their eyes met in understanding. They'd both seen the damage controlling relationships could do. After Derek, Sky said softly, I promised myself I'd never lose myself in someone else again, that I'd build my own life first. Is that why you're taking design classes? She nodded. I want a career I love, something that's mine. Derek used to laugh at my sketches, said I was wasting my time. He sounds like a real prince, Cole said dryly, then leaned forward. Show me. Show you what? Your designs. Do you have any pictures? Hesitantly, Skye pulled out her phone and showed him some photos of small projects she'd done for friends. A bedroom makeover, a living room redesign. Cole studied them with genuine interest. These are good, Skye. Really, good. You have an eye for balance and flow. His praise warmed her. Unlike Derek's dismissal or her family's polite encouragement, Cole's assessment felt professional, real. The evening passed quickly. They talked about everything. Books they'd read, places they wanted to travel, childhood memories. Cole was surprisingly funny, with a dry wit that made her laugh, and he listened, really listened, when she spoke. What about elegant spaces? Skye asked as they shared dessert. Is it true you're fighting the board to keep it? Cole's expression turned serious. How did you know about that? I overheard things at the gala, and I'm good at putting pieces together. He nodded slowly. Thomas Whitaker and some board members want to sell it to Kingston Design Group. They claim it's underperforming. Is it? No. Its revenue is steady but not flashy enough for Whitaker. He wants quick profits, not sustainable growth. Cole's jaw tightened. If Kingston buys it, they'll gut the staff, take the client list, and discard the rest. You mean people would lose their jobs? Most of them, yes, including you. Skye felt cold. So that's why you care about keeping it. One reason, Cole admitted. I also believe in what Elegant Spaces does. Creating beautiful environments isn't frivolous. It affects how people feel, how they live. Again, Skye was struck by the depth behind Cole's business-like exterior. He truly cared about the impact of his decisions on real people. After dinner, they walked along the river, the city lights reflecting on the water. Cole's hand brushed against hers, then gently took it. His touch sent warmth up her arm. This was nice, she said softly. A real date? Cole stopped, turning to face her. Skye, I want to be clear about something. I know you have concerns about the press, about the power imbalance, but I meant what I said in that note. There's something between us, something real. The sincerity in his eyes made her breath catch. I feel it too, she admitted. But I'm scared, Cole. My life was just getting stable. You could turn it upside down. Or we could build something together. He touched her cheek gently. I'm not asking for promises, just don't walk away because you're afraid of what might happen. His face was close now, his eyes asking a question. Slowly, giving her time to pull away, he leaned in. Their lips met in a kiss so gentle it was barely there, yet it sent electricity through her entire body. When they parted, Cole's eyes were darker, intense. Tell me this isn't just me. It's not, Skye whispered, but that doesn't mean it's simple. He smiled slightly. Nothing worth having ever is. The next morning, Cole called as Skye was getting ready for work. Don't read the society pages, he warned. Her stomach dropped. Why? What happened? Someone saw us at the restaurant. There's a photo. Skye sat on her bed, suddenly dizzy. What does this mean? It means we can't hide this, whatever it is. His voice softened. Are you okay? Was she? Part of her wanted to run, to protect the quiet life she'd built. But another part, a stronger part, wanted to see where this could go with Cole. I think so, she said finally. But Cole, people at work will talk. Let them. I don't care what they think. It's different for you. You're the boss. Don't, he interrupted. Don't say you're just anything. You're Skye Daniels and you're remarkable. His faith in her gave Skye courage. Okay, we'll figure it out. At work, the whispers started the moment she walked in. Annie rushed over, eyes wide. It's true, isn't it? You and Remington are really dating. Skye took a deep breath. It's new. That's all I'm going to say. Throughout the day, she felt eyes on her, heard conversations stop when she entered rooms. It was uncomfortable but bearable, until Patricia appeared at her desk after lunch. Ms. Daniels, could you come with me, please? Skye followed Cole's assistant to a small conference room. where a stern-looking older man waited. "Ms. Daniels, I'm Thomas Whitaker, chairman of the board at Remington Holdings." Sky's mouth went dry. "Nice to meet you, sir." Whitaker did not return the pleasantry. "Let's be direct. Your relationship with Cole Remington is inappropriate and potentially damaging to the company. With all due respect, Mr. Whitaker, my personal life is my business, not when it involves the CEO of this company." His eyes were cold. "What exactly are you after? Money, position, or just trying to sleep your way to the top?" Anger flashed through Sky. "You don't know anything about me or my relationship with Cole. I know gold diggers when I see them. Cole may be blinded, but I'm not." Whitaker leaned forward. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to end this little affair, and in exchange, I'll arrange a very generous severance package and excellent references." Sky stood up, shaking with fury. "I'm not for sale, Mr. Whitaker. Everyone has a price, Ms. Daniels. You just haven't heard the right offer yet." He slid a folder across the table. "Take some time to think about it, but not too much time." Sky left without touching the folder. Her mind raced. Should she call Cole? No. This was exactly the kind of drama she'd wanted to avoid. She needed to handle this herself. Back at her desk, she tried to focus on work, but her hands trembled. Whitaker's accusations hit too close to old wounds. Derek had often suggested she wasn't good enough, that she was lucky to have him. Was she repeating the same pattern with Cole, getting involved with someone who had all the power? At 5 o'clock, she was gathering her things when her phone chimed with a text from Cole. "Dinner tonight?" She stared at the message, torn. Part of her wanted to run straight to him, tell him everything. But another part whispered that maybe Whitaker was right. Maybe this relationship was doomed from the start. Annie appeared at her desk. "Hey, there's someone waiting for you in the lobby." Sky walked to the reception area and froze. Standing there, looking exactly as she remembered, was Derek. "Hello, Sky," he said with that smile that used to make her heart race. "Long time no see." "What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I saw your picture in the paper." He moved closer. "The great Cole Remington's new girlfriend. Pretty good for a small-town girl with no ambition. The old Derek, the one who could cut her down with a few words, was back." "I have plenty of ambition," she said, finding her voice. "It just never included you." His smile tightened. "Careful, Sky. From what I remember, your confidence never lasted long." She felt herself shrinking under his gaze, hating how easily he could affect her, even after all this time. "You should leave," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "Not until we talk." Derek reached for her arm. "I think we have some catching up to do. The lady asked you to leave." Cole's voice, cold and commanding, came from behind her. Sky turned to see him standing in the doorway, his expression thunderous. Derek's hand dropped, but his smile remained. "Ah, the boyfriend. Cole Remington himself." Cole moved to Sky's side. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. She nodded, drawing strength from his presence. Cole turned to Derek, his voice deadly quiet. "I don't know who you are, but you're trespassing on private property. Leave now or I'll have security remove you." Derek held up his hands in mock surrender. "No need for threats. I was just saying hello to an old friend." He looked at Sky. "We'll talk another time." After he left, Cole turned to Sky, his face concerned. "Who was that?" "Derek. My ex." Sky felt drained, as if the brief encounter had sapped all her energy. Cole's expression darkened. "The one who tried to control you?" Sky nodded, suddenly close to tears. It was too much. Whitaker, Derek, the whispers at work. Everything. She'd feared about getting involved with Cole was coming true. Her carefully constructed life was crumbling. "I can't do this," she whispered. "Can't do what? This. Us." She stepped back from him. "It's too complicated, too public. Everyone has an opinion, everyone's watching." Cole reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "Sky, we can handle this. Together." She shook her head. "You don't understand. I built this life piece by piece after... Derek, it's not perfect, but it's mine. And now it's all falling apart." "Because of me," Cole said quietly. "Because of us." Sky wiped away a tear. "I need space, Cole. Time to think." Pain flashed across his face, but he nodded. "I understand. But Sky, this, what we have, It's worth fighting for. At least it is to me." His words hung in the air between them as he walked away. Skye stood alone in the lobby, torn between running after him and running away. That night she couldn't sleep. Her phone buzzed repeatedly with texts from Annie and Megan, asking what had happened. She ignored them all. Instead, she pulled out her sketchbook and began drawing. Room designs, color schemes, anything to distract her mind. Around midnight, there was a soft knock at her door. Warily, she checked the peephole. It was Megan. "Brought reinforcements," Megan announced, holding up a bottle of wine and ice cream when Skye opened the door. Despite herself, Skye smiled. "How did you know I needed this?" "Because you're ignoring my texts, which means either you're dead or heartbroken. Since you answered the door, I'm guessing the latter." Megan hugged her. "Talk to me." Over wine and ice cream, Skye told her everything. Whitaker's threats, Derek's appearance, her fear of losing herself again. "So you pushed Cole away," Megan concluded. "I asked for space." "Same thing." Megan studied her. "Do you love him?" The question caught Skye off guard. "It's too soon for that." "Is it? Sometimes it happens fast. Sometimes you just know." Did she love Cole? The thought made her heart race. She remembered his smile, his laugh, the way he looked at her like she was precious. "Even if I do," she said slowly, "it doesn't change the problems. The press, the power imbalance, his world versus mine. Those are all external things," Megan pointed out. "What about how you feel when you're with him? Does he respect you, support you, make you feel safe?" "Yes," Skye admitted. "All of those things. And does he try to control you like Derek did?" "No, never." Megan squeezed her hand. "Then maybe the real question isn't whether you love him. It's whether you're brave enough to let yourself be loved by him." The words hit Skye like a physical blow. Was that it? Was she sabotaging this relationship, not because Cole was wrong for her, but because she was afraid of being vulnerable again? "I don't know what to do," she whispered. "Yes, you do," Megan said gently. "You're just scared to do it." After Megan left, Skye sat by her window watching the city lights. She thought about Cole, about the connection they'd formed in such a short time, about the way he made her feel, seen, valued, respected. Her phone lit up with a text. It was from Cole. "I know you asked for space and I'm trying to respect that, but I also need you to know something. I'm falling in love with you, Skye Daniels. Take all the time you need, but please, don't let fear make this decision for you." Tears filled Skye's eyes as she read the message. He understood, of course he did. He saw her, really saw her, in a way no one else ever had. She was about to reply when another text came through, this one from an unknown number. "Stay away from Cole Remington, or everyone will see who you really are. Check your email." Dolwithfire. Shaking hands, Skye opened her email. There was a new message with an attachment. When she opened it, her blood ran cold. It was a photo of her from 3 years ago, when she was with Derek. She looked thin, exhausted, a shadow of herself. The caption read, "Gold digger or victim. The woman who's caught Cole Remington's eye has a troubled past." Below was an article, supposedly from an anonymous source, detailing how she'd latched onto Derek for financial security, then done the same with Cole. Who would do this? Whitaker, Derek, or someone else entirely. Her phone rang. It was Cole. Skye stared at it, fear paralyzing her. If she answered, if she let him deeper into her life, the stakes would only get higher. The scrutiny would get worse. But if she didn't answer, if she let fear win, she would lose something precious, something real. Taking a deep breath, Skye made her choice. Skye answered the phone, her voice shaking. "Cole? Skye? What's wrong?" His concern was immediate. "I just got a threatening text and email. Someone sent me an old photo from when I was with Derek, with a fake story about me being a gold digger." Cole's voice hardened. "Who sent it?" "I don't know. The number's blocked and the email came from an anonymous account." She took a deep breath. "Cole, they're threatening to release it to the press. I'm coming over." "No, it's late. I'll be there in 20 minutes. True to his word, Cole arrived exactly 20 minutes later. When Sky opened the door, he immediately pulled her into his arms. She hadn't realized how badly she needed that contact until she felt herself melting into his embrace. "Show me," he said gently when they separated. Sky handed him her phone. Cole's jaw tightened as he read the message and viewed the photo. "This is Whitaker," he said flatly. "It has to be. Or Derek. He just showed up out of nowhere today." Cole paced her small living room. "We need to get ahead of this. My PR team can—" "No." Sky's voice was firm. "I don't want a PR team involved in my personal life. Sky, if this gets out, then it gets out." She stood straighter. "I'm not ashamed of my past, Cole. Yes, I was in a controlling relationship. Yes, I looked terrible in that photo because Derek had been isolating me, making me doubt myself. But I got out, I rebuilt my life. If someone wants to twist that story to hurt me, to hurt us, then let them try." Cole stared at her, admiration clear in his eyes. "You're incredible, you know that." "I'm scared," she admitted, "but I'm done. Letting fear control my decisions." Moving closer, Cole took her hands in his. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I don't want space anymore. I'm saying whatever this is between us, I want to see where it goes." His smile was like sunrise breaking through clouds. "Are you sure?" "No," she said honestly, "but I'm sure about you, about how I feel when I'm with you." Cole's hand came up to cup her cheek. "And how do you feel?" "Like I'm finally seeing in color after years of black and white." He kissed her then, not the gentle kiss they'd shared before, but something deeper, more urgent. Sky responded with equal fervor, her arms wrapping around his neck. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, Cole rested his forehead against hers. "We'll face this together, whatever comes next." "Together," she agreed. That night, Cole stayed on her couch, unwilling to leave her alone after the threatening message. In the morning, they formulated a plan. "No hiding," Cole said over coffee. "We go public on our terms." "What do you mean?" "There's a charity event tomorrow night. The Children's Hospital Foundation dinner. Come with me officially as my date. We'll show whoever's behind these threats that we're not intimidated." Sky hesitated. "You don't think that's playing into their hands?" "Hiding would be playing into their hands. This way we control the narrative." She nodded slowly. "Okay, but Cole, what about work? People are already talking." "Let me handle that." He kissed her forehead. "Trust me." After Cole left for a meeting, Sky got ready for work, feeling stronger than she had in days. Whatever came next, she wouldn't face it alone. At Elegant Spaces, she walked in with her head high, ignoring the whispers. Around mid-morning, Patricia appeared at her desk. "Ms. Daniels, please come with me." Once again, Sky found herself following Cole's assistant, but this time to a different conference room. Inside, a woman with short silver hair and sharp eyes waited. "Sky, this is Monica Lawson, our HR director for all Remington Holdings companies," Patricia said, then left. Monica smiled warmly. "Please sit down, Ms. Daniels." "Am I in trouble?" Sky asked directly. "Not at all." "Quite the opposite, actually." Monica opened a folder. "I understand you're taking night classes in interior design." Surprised by the question, Sky nodded. "Yes, I've completed about half the program." "And you've done some small design projects? On your own?" "Just for friends, nothing professional." Monica nodded thoughtfully. "Ms. Daniels, I'm here to offer you a position in our design assistant program. It's a developmental role that would allow you to complete your education while gaining hands-on experience with our senior designers." Sky stared at her. "I don't understand." "It's quite simple. Your current position would be filled, and you would move to the design floor as a junior team member." "But why now? Is this because of Cole?" Monica's expression turned serious. "I won't lie to you, Ms. Daniels. Your relationship with Mr. Remington accelerated the timing of this conversation. However, the position exists independently, and your qualifications are what make you suitable for it." Sky's mind raced. Was this a genuine opportunity, or just Cole's way of quieting the office gossip? As if reading her thoughts, Monica continued, "I understand your concerns, but this program has existed for years. Several of our top designers started exactly where you are. Can I think about it? Of course. Take the weekend. But Ms. Daniels? Monica leaned forward. Don't turn down an opportunity you deserve just because of how it came about. The rest of the day passed in a blur. Annie was ecstatic about the offer, but Skye remained conflicted. She wanted to advance her career, but not at the cost of her integrity. That evening she called Cole. Did you arrange this job offer? She asked without preamble. He didn't hesitate. I asked HR to review your qualifications for the program, yes. But Skye, I didn't create the position for you, and I didn't order them to accept you. That was their decision based on your work and classes. People will say I slept my way into it. People will always talk, Cole said gently. The question is whether you'll let their opinions stop you from taking opportunities you deserve. His words echoed Monica's, giving Skye pause. I want to earn my place, Cole. You will. Once you're in the program, your work will speak for itself. She sighed, knowing he was right. I'll think about it. That's all I ask. Now, about tomorrow. Night, I'll be ready. Just tell me what to wear. I'll have Patricia send over some options. He paused. Skye, I'm proud of you for facing this head on. His words warmed her heart. Good night, Cole. Good night. The next day was Saturday. A rack of dresses arrived mid-morning, along with a note from Patricia with details for the evening. Skye chose a deep green gown that complemented her eyes without being too flashy. She wanted to look elegant but appropriate, like she belonged. At Cole's side, as she was getting ready, her phone rang. It was her sister, Lily. Skye, why am I seeing you in People magazine with some millionaire? Skye winced. She hadn't told her family about Cole yet. Billionaire, actually, and it's complicated. So uncomplicated for me. Taking a deep breath, Skye explained everything. The fake date that became real, the connection she felt with Cole, the threats they now faced. Wow, Lily said when she finished. That's a lot. I know it sounds crazy. It sounds like a romance novel. Lily's voice softened. Are you happy, Skye? Really happy? The question made Skye pause. Despite the complications, despite the threats and whispers, she realized she was happier than she'd been in years. Yes, with Cole I am. Then that's all that matters. Just be careful, okay? After Derek. Cole's nothing like Derek, Skye said firmly. He supports me, respects me. He sees me, Lily. Then I can't wait to meet him. After they hung up, Skye stood before her mirror. The woman looking back at her was different from the one who had agreed to be Cole's fake girlfriend just weeks ago. This woman was stronger, more confident, ready to fight for what she wanted. At 7, Cole arrived, handsome in a classic black tuxedo. His eyes widened when he saw her. You're beautiful, he said, his voice reverent. The Children's Hospital Foundation dinner was held at the Grand Plaza Hotel. Unlike the Rivera Gala, this event was larger, with press lining the red carpet outside. Ready? Cole asked as their car pulled up. Skye took a deep breath. Ready? They stepped out together, Cole's hand steady on her lower back. Cameras flashed immediately, reporters calling out questions. Mr. Remington, over here! Cole, who's your date? Sir, is this a serious relationship? Cole guided her through with practiced ease, stopping occasionally for photos but not answering questions. Inside, he leaned close to her ear. You're doing great. The ballroom was spectacular, with crystal chandeliers and tables adorned with white roses. As they moved through the crowd, Skye noticed the curious glances, the whispered conversations. But with Cole's hand in hers, she found she didn't care. They were seated at a table near the front with several other couples. Cole introduced her smoothly, his pride evident in his voice. To Skye's surprise, people were welcoming, showing genuine interest in her design studies. Dinner was being served when Skye spotted Thomas Whitaker across the room, watching them with cold eyes. Beside him sat a familiar blonde, Sophia Pierce, Cole's ex-fiancée. Cole followed her gaze and frowned. Ignore them. Easier said than done. They can't hurt us unless we let them. The evening progressed pleasantly. Cole kept her close, his hand often finding hers under the table. During the charity auction, he bid generously on several items, winning a weekend at a mountain resort that he immediately promised to take Sky to. "We could use a getaway," he murmured, his eyes warm on hers. After the auction there was dancing. Cole led her to the floor, drawing her close as a slow song began. "Everyone's watching us," Sky whispered. "Let them watch. All I see is you." As they swayed to the music, Sky felt herself falling deeper. This man, who could have anyone, who carried the weight of a business empire on his shoulders, looked at her like she was precious, like she was enough. The moment was perfect, until Sky caught sight of Thomas Whitaker approaching, Sophia on his arm. "Cole," Whitaker said, his smile not reaching his eyes. "Quite a generous contribution tonight." "It's a worthy cause," Cole replied coolly. "Ms. Daniels," Whitaker's gaze shifted to Sky. "I see you didn't take my offer." Cole's body tensed. "What? Offer?" Before Sky could explain, Sophia cut in. "Cole, darling, you can't possibly be serious about this arrangement." She looked Sky up and down. "We all know what's really going on." "And what's that, Sophia?" Cole's voice was dangerously quiet. "She's using you, obviously. First for money, now for a career boost. I heard she's being moved to the design program." Sophia laughed lightly. "How convenient." Sky felt heat rise to her cheeks, but before she could defend herself, Cole spoke. "Ms. Daniels earned that position through her talent and hard work. Something you might not recognize, Sophia, since you've never had to work for anything in your life." Sophia's smile faltered. Whitaker stepped forward. "Cole, a word in private. Anything you have to say to me can be said in front of Sky." Whitaker's jaw tightened. "Very well. The board is concerned about your judgment lately. First refusing the Kingston deal, now this public spectacle with an employee. It doesn't inspire confidence." "My personal life is not the board's concern," Cole said firmly. "And the Kingston deal was bad business, as I've explained repeatedly." "Perhaps it's time for new leadership at Remington Holdings," Whitaker suggested, his threat thinly veiled. "Someone with a clearer vision for the future." Cole's laugh was without humor. "Good luck with that, Thomas. My father may have trusted you, but I've seen through your games for years." Whitaker's face darkened. "This isn't over, Cole." As they walked away, Sophia threw one last barb over her shoulder. "Enjoy it while it lasts, sweetheart. Cole gets bored easily." Sky felt shaken. "They really hate me. They hate what you represent, that I'm making my own choices, not following their plans." Cole led her toward a quiet corner. "Are you okay?" "I think so." "But Cole, what did he mean about new leadership?" Cole sighed. "Whitaker's been trying to push me out since I took over. He and my father were close, and he doesn't like my management style. Can he do that, remove you? He'd need the board's support, which he doesn't have." Cole squeezed her hand. "Don't worry about Whitaker. He's all threats, no action." But Sky wasn't convinced. The hatred in Whitaker's eyes had been real, as had the determination, and Sophia clearly wanted Cole back. Together they seemed like a dangerous combination. Despite the confrontation, the rest of the evening passed without incident. As they were leaving, a reporter approached, microphone extended. "Mr. Remington, can we get a comment on your relationship with Ms. Daniels?" Cole looked at Sky, silently asking permission. She nodded slightly. "Sky and I are together," he said simply. "That's all anyone needs to know," the reporter pressed. "Is it serious?" "There are rumors this started as a publicity stunt." Sky felt her heart skip. "How did they know about the arrangement?" Cole remained calm. "Relationships evolve. Ours certainly has. Now, if you'll excuse us." In the car, Sky turned to him. "How did they know about our arrangement?" "They don't, not really, they're fishing." Cole took her hand. "Don't let it bother you." "It's hard not to, especially with Whitaker and Sophia gunning for us." "For me," Cole corrected. "This isn't about you, Sky. It's about control. Whitaker wants control of the company, and Sophia wants control of me. And the threatening message about my past." Cole's expression darkened. "That's about hurting you to get to me, which is why we need to be careful." When they reached Sky's apartment, Cole insisted on coming up to check that everything was secure. Once inside, he pulled her into his arms. "You were amazing tonight," he murmured against her hair. "Strong, confident, beautiful." "I was terrified," she admitted. "No one could tell." He pulled back to look at her. "Sky, Whatever happens next, know that I meant what I said in that text. I'm falling in love with you. Her heart soared at his words. I'm falling in love with you too. His kiss was tender, full of promise. When they parted, his eyes were dark with emotion. I should go, he said reluctantly. Early meeting tomorrow. On Sunday. Remington never sleeps, he said with a wry smile. I'll call you tomorrow. After Cole left, Skye moved around her apartment in a happy daze. Despite the threats, despite Whitaker and Sophia, she felt hopeful. She and Cole were in this together, facing whatever came their way. As she was preparing for bed, her phone chimed with an email notification. Heart pounding, she checked it, half expecting another threat. Instead, it was from the design assistant. Program confirming her start date for Monday. Skye stared at the screen, conflicted. Was she making the right choice, accepting the position? Or was she playing into the hands of those who claimed she was using Cole for advancement? Your work will speak for itself, Cole had said, and he was right. Once she was in the program, she would prove her worth through her designs, her ideas. She would earn her place. With new determination, Skye replied to the email accepting the position. Sunday morning, Skye awoke to a text from Cole. Meeting running long. Dinner tonight? My place this time. She smiled, typing back a quick, yes. The day passed slowly. Skye cleaned her apartment, worked on some design sketches, and called Megan to update her on everything that had happened. So you're officially a couple now? Megan asked excitedly. I guess we are, Skye replied, unable to keep the happiness from her voice. And the design position, you're taking it? Yes. Cole was right. I can't let other people's opinions stop me from pursuing opportunities. That's my girl, Megan said proudly. So when do I get to meet him? This man who's turned my practical, cautious friend into a risk-taker? Soon, Skye promised, once things settled down a bit. That evening, Skye took a cab to Cole's address, a sleek high-rise in Tribeca. The doorman escorted her to a private elevator that opened directly into a stunning penthouse apartment. Cole greeted her with a kiss. Welcome to my home. Skye looked around in awe. The space was modern but warm, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering panoramic views of the city. Original artwork adorned the walls, and comfortable furniture invited relaxation despite the luxurious setting. It's beautiful, she said honestly. It never felt like home until now, Cole replied, taking her hand. With you here. He gave her a tour, showing her his favorite spaces. The kitchen where he rarely cooked, the library filled with books, the terrace where he often worked when the weather was nice. You designed all this? Skye asked, admiring the cohesive aesthetic. I worked with a designer, but yes, the vision was mine. Does it pass professional inspection? His eyes twinkled. With flying colors, Cole had arranged for dinner to be delivered from his favorite restaurant. They ate on the terrace, the city lights twinkling around them, talking about everything and nothing. How was your meeting? Skye asked as they finished the meal. Cole's expression turned serious. Intense. Kingston made another offer for Elegant Spaces, higher this time. The board is pressuring me to consider it. Will you? No, but I need to find a counter strategy. He reached for her hand. Actually, I was hoping to get your thoughts on something. Mine? What could I possibly offer? A fresh perspective. Cole stood, leading her back inside to his office. On a large screen was a presentation titled Elegant Spaces, Future Growth Strategy. This is what I've been working on, he explained. A plan to expand Elegant Spaces, make it too valuable for the board to consider selling. He looked at her intently. I'd like your input. Skye was touched by his trust in her judgment. I'd be honored. For the next hour, they reviewed the plan together. Skye offered suggestions based on her studies and observations working at the front desk, insights into client preferences underutilized, market segments, potential service expansions. Cole listened attentively, taking notes, asking questions. His respect for her opinions was evident, making Skye feel valued in a way Derek never had. These are excellent ideas, he said when they finished. You have a natural business sense, Skye. I just see things from a different angle. Exactly. That's what makes your perspective valuable. He closed the laptop. This is why you belong in that design program. You have real talent. His faith in her abilities boosted Skye's confidence about her new position. Maybe she could do this. Balance a relationship with Cole while pursuing her own career path. Later, as they cuddled on the couch watching the city lights, Cole's phone rang. He checked the screen and frowned. "I need to take this. It's Patricia." He stepped onto the terrace to take the call. When he returned, his expression was grim. "What's wrong?" Sky asked, sitting up. "Someone leaked information about our original arrangement. The story is breaking tomorrow morning. How I paid you to be my date for the Rivera Gala." Sky felt cold. Who would do that? Whitaker, Sophia, maybe even Derek. It doesn't matter. Now Cole sat beside her. What matters is how we respond. What do? We tell the truth. Yes, it started as an arrangement, but it became real. We fell in love. End of story. Sky wasn't convinced. Will people believe that? Some will, some won't, but we'll know the truth. He took her hands in his. "Sky, I need to know if you're ready for this. The press will be relentless. They'll dig into your past, your relationship with Derek, everything." The thought terrified her, but the alternative, walking away from Cole, was worse. "I'm ready," she said, squeezing his hands. "Whatever comes, we face it together." Relief washed over Cole's face. Together. He kissed her then, a kiss that spoke of gratitude, of admiration, of love. Sky melted into him, knowing that whatever storms lay ahead, this, what they shared, was worth weathering them for. The next morning, the story broke as predicted. Remington's paid girlfriend, the truth about the CEO's mystery woman, screamed the headlines. The article detailed their arrangement, claiming Sky had been hired to improve Cole's image, with unnamed sources suggesting she had seduced him into a real relationship to advance her career. Cole's PR team issued a brief statement. While Mr. Remington and Ms. Daniels' relationship did begin unconventionally, it has evolved into a genuine connection that both parties value deeply. They ask for privacy during this time. Sky read the statement on her phone as she prepared for her first day in the design assistant program. Her hands trembled slightly, knowing she'd face whispers and judgment when she arrived. Her phone rang. It was Cole. "Are you okay?" "Nervous," she admitted, "but ready." "I'm proud of you," he said softly. "Call me if you need anything. I mean it. Anything at all." His support gave her strength. "I will. I love you. I love you too." At Elegant Spaces, Sky held her head high as she walked to the design floor. Her new supervisor, David Chen, greeted her warmly. "Welcome to the team, Sky. Don't worry about the gossip. It'll die down. Your portfolio impressed us all. That's why you're here." His kindness eased some of her anxiety. Throughout the morning, David introduced her to the design team and explained her responsibilities. Most people were professional, though she caught occasional whispers and stares. During lunch, Sky found a quiet corner in the break room. She was eating alone when a young woman approached. "Mind if I join you?" she asked with a friendly smile. "I'm Zoe, junior designer." "Please." Sky gestured to the empty chair. Zoe sat down. "Just so you know, not everyone believes those tabloid stories. Some of us actually respect you for working your way up." Touched by the unexpected support, Sky smiled. "Thank you, that means a lot." "Besides," Zoe continued, "most of us have seen how Remington looks at you. That's not faked." The afternoon passed quickly as Sky dove into her first assignments. By the end of the day, she felt cautiously optimistic. The work was challenging but exciting, exactly what she'd dreamed of. As she was gathering her things to leave, David approached with a concerned expression. "Sky, there's someone waiting for you in the lobby. Says he's an old friend." Her stomach dropped. "Derek," David nodded. "Want me to call security?" "No, I'll handle it." Sky stood straighter. "Thank you for telling me." In the lobby, Derek waited with a smug smile. "First day in your new position? Congratulations on the promotion." "What do you want, Derek?" Sky kept her voice level, refusing to show fear. "Just checking on an old friend. The papers were quite interesting this morning." He moved closer. "Did Remington really pay you $10,000 to play pretend?" "I'm impressed, Sky. You've learned how to use what you've got." His words were designed to hurt, to make her feel cheap. The old Sky would have crumbled, but not anymore. "If you leaked that story, you wasted your time," she said coolly. "Cole and I have nothing to hide." Derek's smile faltered slightly. "Be careful, Sky. Men like Remington play in a different league. When he's done with you, where will you be?" "Then?" "That's none of your concern." She stepped around him. "Goodbye, Derek. This isn't over," he called after her. Sky kept walking, her head high. Outside, she took a deep breath of the evening air, feeling stronger for having faced Derek without breaking down. Her phone chimed with a text from Cole. "How was your first day?" "Good," she typed back, despite everything. Derek showed up again. Cole's response was immediate. "Are you safe? Do you need me to come? I'm fine, I handled it." "That's my girl. Dinner tonight to celebrate your first day?" Sky smiled at his pride in her. "Yes. Your place or mine?" "Yours. I'll bring dinner." That evening, as they ate takeout on Sky's small couch, Cole updated her on the fallout from the story. The board called an emergency meeting. Whitaker tried to use the scandal to force a vote of no confidence. Sky's heart sank. "What happened?" "He failed," Cole said with a slight smile. "Most of the board stood with me. They liked the growth strategy we worked on last night. Really, my suggestions helped. More than helped. They were key." Cole took her hand. "Whitaker isn't done fighting, but we've won this round." Sky leaned against his shoulder, content despite the day's challenges. "I handled my first design assignment today, and I stood up to Derek." "Tell me everything," Cole said, his voice warm with genuine interest. As Sky described her day, she marveled at how different this relationship was from her time with Derek. Cole celebrated her successes, respected her boundaries, treated her as an equal. With him, she felt not just loved, but valued for who she truly was. Later, as they were cleaning up, Cole grew serious. "The press speculation isn't going to die down quickly. We should consider getting away for a while. That mountain resort. I won at the auction. It might be good to escape the city, just the two of us. I can't just leave. I've barely started my new position. It would only be for a weekend." He wrapped his arms around her waist. "Think about it. No press, no Whitaker, no Derek, just us." The idea was tempting. "Maybe next weekend after I've gotten more settled at work." "Perfect." Cole kissed her softly. "I'll arrange everything." That night, Cole stayed over for the first time, holding Sky close as they fell asleep. Despite the threat still hanging over them, despite the public scrutiny, Sky felt safe in his arms, confident that together they could face whatever came next. She had no idea that the worst was yet to come. Tuesday morning began normally. Sky arrived at work early, eager to prove herself on a new assignment. Around 10, David called her into his office, his expression grave. "There's been a development," he said, showing her his tablet. On the screen was a financial news site with the headline, "Remington Holdings in Chaos. CEO faces board revolt amid personal scandal." Sky read quickly, her horror growing. According to the article, Thomas Whitaker had presented the board with evidence that Cole had misused company funds to orchestrate a fake relationship as part of a larger pattern of questionable decision-making. The board had called an emergency session to vote on Cole's leadership. "This is garbage," Sky said, her voice shaking. "Cole would never misuse funds." "I believe you," David said kindly, "but the markets don't. Remington stock is down 15% already this morning." Sky tried calling Cole, but it went straight to voicemail. Next, she tried Patricia, who answered on the second ring. "Ms. Daniels, now is not a good time." "Patricia, what's happening? Is Cole okay?" The assistant's voice softened slightly. "He's in with the board. Has been all morning. I'll have him call you when he can." "Tell him I believe in him," Sky said urgently. "Tell him I'm here, whatever he needs." "I will." The rest of the day passed in an anxious blur. Sky tried to focus on her work, but her mind kept returning to Cole, facing that boardroom alone, fighting for his company and reputation. By 5 o'clock, she still hadn't heard from him. Unable to wait any longer, she took a cab to Remington Tower. The lobby was crawling with reporters. Sky kept her head down, grateful that few people would recognize her. At the security desk, she gave her name. "I'm here to see Cole Remington." The guard checked his screen. "Ms. Daniels, yes. Mr. Remington left instructions to send you up if you arrived. Relief washed over her. At least Cole had anticipated she might come. Patricia met her when the elevator opened. He's still in the meeting. It's not going well. What's happening? Patricia glanced around, then lowered her voice. Whitaker presented falsified documents showing Cole authorized payments to you from a corporate account. He's claiming the entire relationship was a publicity stunt gone wrong. Skye felt sick. That's a lie. Cole paid me from his personal account. I have the records to prove it. Hope flashed in Patricia's eyes. You have documentation? Bank statements showing the deposit came from Cole's personal account, not Remington Holdings, and our original agreement was verbal, never written down. That might help. Patricia straightened as a door opened down the hall. They're breaking. Follow me. She led Skye to a small conference room. Wait here, I'll get Cole. Minutes later, the door opened. Cole entered, looking exhausted. His tie was loosened, his hair disheveled, as if he'd been running his hands through it repeatedly. Skye, he said, his voice rough. You shouldn't be here, she rushed to him. I couldn't stay away, what's happening? Cole sank into a chair, the weight of the day evident in his posture. Whitaker came prepared. He has documents, forgeries, but convincing ones, showing I authorized multiple payments to you from company accounts. The board is split. I have my bank records, Skye said quickly. Showing the money came from your personal account. Will that help? A spark of hope lit Cole's tired eyes. It might, but Skye, even if we disprove this allegation, Whitaker won't stop. He's out for blood. Why? What does he gain by destroying you? Control of Remington Holdings. My father always intended for me to take over, but Whitaker was his right hand for decades. He feels entitled to run things. Cole reached for her hand. But there's more to it. Something personal. What do you mean? Cole hesitated. My father trusted Whitaker completely, but in the months before he retired, I started noticing discrepancies in the financial reports. Nothing major, but enough to raise questions. I think Whitaker has been siphoning money for years, and he knows. I'm close to proving it. So this isn't just about power, it's about covering his tracks, Skye realized. Exactly. If he can force me out, he can bury any evidence. Their conversation was interrupted by Patricia entering with a tablet. Cole, we need your statement for the press. They're waiting downstairs. Cole stood, straightening his tie. Tell them no comment until after the board reaches a decision. And if they ask about Ms. Daniels? His eyes met Skye's. Tell them I stand by my previous statement. My relationship with Skye is genuine, and any suggestion otherwise is categorically false. After Patricia left, Cole pulled Skye into his arms. I'm sorry you're caught in this mess. I'm not sorry, she said fiercely. Not about us. He kissed. Her then, a desperate kiss that spoke of his fear of losing her, of losing everything. When they parted, Cole pressed his forehead to hers. I need to get back in there. The vote is happening soon. Fight for your company, Cole. I'll be waiting. As Skye waited for Cole to return from the board meeting, her mind raced with possibilities. What if he lost everything because of her? What if Whitaker won? The door finally opened and Cole walked in, his tie loosened, shoulders slumped with exhaustion. Cole, she rushed to him. What happened? It's postponed, he said, relief evident in his voice. The vote, I mean. Some board members want more time to review Whitaker's evidence. Is that good? It buys us time. Cole sank onto a nearby chair. Whitaker was ready for a vote tonight. He was confident he had the numbers. Skye knelt beside him, taking his hands. Then we use this time. Fight back. Cole nodded, determination replacing the fatigue in his eyes. Tomorrow I'll have my finance team review every transaction Whitaker's been involved with. If he's been embezzling funds, there will be a trail. And what about us? The allegations about our relationship. Your bank statements should help disprove his claim that I used company funds. Cole squeezed her hands. But Skye, this is going to get uglier before it gets better. Whitaker won't back down easily. Neither will we, she said firmly. Cole smiled, touching her cheek gently. When did you get so fierce? When someone I love was threatened. His eyes widened at her casual use of the word love, then softened, with emotion. I love you too, Sky Daniels, more than I thought possible after such a short time. That night, they stayed at Cole's penthouse, both needing the comfort of being together. In the morning, they parted with a lingering kiss. Cole to Remington Tower to continue his fight, Sky to Elegant Spaces for her second day in the design assistant program. At work, Sky tried to focus on her assignments, but her mind kept drifting to Cole. Was he finding evidence against Whitaker? Was the board still wavering? At lunch, her phone chimed with a text from an unknown number. You should see what's coming. Last chance to walk away. A chill ran down Sky's spine. Another threat. She forwarded it to Cole, who responded immediately. Security is monitoring your apartment. Stay at my place tonight. The rest of the day passed in tense anticipation. Sky half expected more threats, but none came. By closing time, she was mentally exhausted. She was gathering her things when David appeared at her desk. Sky, there's a call for you on line 2, says it's urgent. Puzzled, she picked up the phone. Hello? Ms. Daniels, this is Sophia Pierce. The smooth, cultured voice was unmistakable. Sky's grip tightened on the receiver. What do you want? To meet. There's something you should know about Cole and the company he's fighting so hard to keep. Every instinct told Sky this was a trap, but curiosity won out. When and where? The Plaza Hotel lobby, 6 o'clock. Come alone. The line went dead. Sky stared at the phone, debating whether to tell Cole about the call. He would try to stop her, of course. But what if Sophia really did have information that could help him? Decision made, Sky texted Cole that she had an errand to run before coming to his place. It wasn't exactly a lie, but it wasn't the full truth either. At 6 sharp, she entered the Plaza's opulent lobby. Sophia sat on a plush sofa, elegant in a cream silk blouse and tailored pants, looking completely at home amid the luxury. Ms. Daniels, she said with a practiced smile, thank you for coming, please sit. Sky remained standing. What did you want to tell me? Sophia's smile faltered slightly. Direct, aren't you? Very well. She opened her purse and withdrew a manila envelope. These are copies of financial documents from Remington Holdings, specifically from a subsidiary called Remington Ventures. And why are you showing me these? Because Cole won't tell you what Remington Ventures really is. A shell corporation his father created to hide assets during his divorce from Cole's mother. Sophia handed her the envelope. The company Cole is fighting for was built on deception. Sky didn't take the envelope. If that's true, why not give this to Whitaker or the board? Oh, Thomas has copies, but I thought you deserved to know what kind of man you're really involved with. Sophia's eyes narrowed. Cole Remington comes from a long line of men who prioritize business over everything and everyone else. Including you? Sky asked. Quietly, something flickered in Sophia's perfect composure, a flash of genuine pain. We were engaged for a year. During that time, he cancelled 6 vacations because of urgent business, missed my father's funeral for a board meeting. Then one day, he simply said he'd made a mistake, that marriage wasn't compatible with his vision for the company. Despite herself, Sky felt a twinge of sympathy for the woman. I'm sorry that happened to you, but Cole has changed. He's finding balance now. Sophia laughed bitterly. For how long? A month? 6? Until the next crisis demands all his attention. She stood, smoothing her pants. Take the envelope or don't, but when he breaks your heart, remember this conversation. She walked away, leaving the envelope on the sofa. Sky hesitated, then picked it up. She wouldn't let Sophia's warnings shake her faith in Cole, but she couldn't ignore potential information about Remington Holdings either. At Cole's penthouse, Sky found him working in his office, surrounded by financial reports. Hey, he said, looking up with a tired smile. How was your errand? Guilt twisted in Sky's stomach. It wasn't an errand. I met with Sophia Pierce. Cole's smile vanished. You what? Why? She called me, said she had information about you and... To the company. Sky placed the envelope on his desk. She gave me this, documents about something called Remington Ventures. Cole stared at the envelope, his expression unreadable. Did you look at them? No, I wanted to hear it from you first. he sighed, running a hand through his hair. Remington Ventures was established by my father during his divorce. It's complicated. Complicated how? My mother was sick for years before she died. During that time, my father had an affair with his assistant. When my mother found out, she filed for divorce, but she was too weak to fight for a fair settlement. Cole's voice hardened. So my father created Remington Ventures to hide assets from her. Skye sat down, stunned by the revelation. And you knew about this? Not until after I took over. I found the records, confronted my father. He justified it as protecting the company. Disgust colored Cole's words. I've been working with lawyers to dissolve Remington Ventures, redistribute the assets properly, make things right. Does Whitaker know about this? He helped create it. He and my father were close, shared the same values or lack thereof. Cole met her eyes. I'm not my father, Skye. I don't want success at any cost. Relief washed over her. Cole wasn't hiding a dark secret. He was trying to correct a past wrong. I believe you, she said softly. But Cole, if Whitaker uses this against you, it will damage the company's reputation, possibly mine as well. But I'd rather face that than continue the deception. He reached for her hand. No more secrets between us. I should have told you about this sooner. And I should have told you about meeting Sophia instead of sneaking around. Skye squeezed his hand. We're a team, right? A team, he agreed, bringing her hand to his lips. They spent the evening reviewing the documents Sophia had provided, along with Cole's own records about Remington Ventures. Together, they crafted a strategy. If Whitaker exposed the Shell Corporation, Cole would announce his plan to dissolve it and make restitution to his mother's estate. It won't be easy, Cole admitted. The board might see it as another reason to remove me, but it's the right thing to do. And that matters more than keeping power, Skye said, proud of his integrity. It does now, Cole said quietly. Before you, I might have fought differently, justified keeping secrets to protect the company. You've changed me, Skye. We've changed each other. As they prepared for bed, Skye felt a new level of closeness with Cole. They had faced a potential crisis together with honesty and trust. Whatever Whitaker threw at them next, they would handle it the same way. But Whitaker wasn't finished. The next morning, as Cole and Skye were having breakfast, Cole's phone rang. Patricia, what's happening? His expression darkened as he listened. When? Another pause. I'll be right there. What is it? Skye asked when he hung up. Whitaker called an emergency board meeting. He's demanding an immediate vote. Cole stood, already reaching for his jacket. He must have found something new, something he thinks will convince the wavering members. The Shell Corporation? Maybe, or something worse. Cole kissed her quickly. I have to go. I'm coming with you. He hesitated, then nodded. Okay, but stay with Patricia. This could get ugly. At Remington Tower, chaos reigned. Reporters gathered in the lobby and security had been increased. Patricia met them at a side entrance, her usually calm demeanor shaken. It's bad, she told Cole as they rode the elevator. Whitaker has documents, emails supposedly from you to Skye, discussing payment arrangements, planning how to manipulate the press coverage. That's ridiculous, Skye exclaimed. Those emails don't exist. They do now, Cole said grimly. Forged but convincing enough to sway the board. The elevator opened onto the executive floor. Through glass walls, Skye could see the boardroom, filled with men and women in business attire. Whitaker stood at the head of the table, gesturing emphatically. You can't go in there, Patricia warned Skye. Board members only. Cole turned to Skye, his face serious. Wait here. Whatever happens, remember I love you. I love you too, she whispered, fear gripping her heart. As Cole entered the boardroom, Skye watched through the glass. Whitaker's expression turned smug when he saw Cole, like a predator confident of its kill. The board members' faces were solemn, some avoiding Cole's eyes altogether. Minutes stretched into an hour as voices rose and fell behind the glass walls. Skye paced the reception area, checking her phone repeatedly, though she knew Cole wouldn't be able to text. Patricia worked silently at her desk, occasionally offering reassuring smiles that didn't reach her eyes. Finally, the boardroom door opened. Cole emerged, his face unreadable. Behind him, Whitaker wore an expression of triumph. Cole? Skye stepped forward anxiously. "It's done," he said quietly. "The vote has been taken." Her heart sank. "And?" Before Cole could answer, Whitaker approached, his smile venomous. "Mr. Remington has been temporarily relieved of his duties pending a full investigation of financial improprieties," he announced loudly enough for the entire floor to hear. "I will be serving as interim CEO effective immediately." Skye felt as if the floor had dropped from beneath her feet. They had lost. Whitaker had won. "Mr. Remington, security will escort you to collect your personal items," Whitaker continued, clearly savoring the moment. "Ms. Daniels, as a participant in this deception, your employment with Elegant Spaces is also terminated." "How you can't do that," Skye protested. "I haven't done anything wrong." "The emails suggest otherwise," Whitaker said coldly. "Consider yourself lucky we're not pressing charges for fraud." Cole put a steadying hand on Skye's arm. "We'll fight this," he said, his voice carrying across the now silent floor. "The emails are forgeries, the allegations false, and when I prove that, every board member who voted against me will answer for their lack of due diligence." Whitaker's smile faltered slightly. "Empty threats from a desperate man. Security, please escort Mr. Remington and Ms. Daniels out of the building." Two security guards approached, looking uncomfortable with their task. Cole held up a hand. "That won't be necessary. We know the way out." Head high, he took Skye's hand and led her toward the elevator. As the doors closed behind them, Skye finally let the tears fall. "I'm so sorry, Cole. Don't be." His voice was calm, determined. "This isn't over, not by a long shot." In the car, Cole made call after call to his lawyer, to trusted executives, to financial investigators. His focus was absolute, his energy unflagging despite the devastating setback. "The emails are the key," he told Skye as they reached his penthouse. "If we can prove they're forgeries, we can challenge the board's decision." "But how?" Skye asked, feeling helpless. "They obviously look convincing enough." "Digital forensics. Every forged document has flaws." Cole paced the living room. And Whitaker made one critical mistake. He moved too fast. In his hurry to seize control, he didn't give the board time to verify the evidence properly. Skye watched him, amazed by his resilience. Where she might have crumbled, Cole was energized, focused on the fight ahead. "What can I do to help?" she asked. Cole stopped pacing, his expression softening as he looked at her. "You've already done so much, Skye. Being here, standing by me despite everything, that's more than enough." "It's not enough for me." She stood, moving to his side. "I want to fight too. This isn't just your battle anymore." Pride and love shone in Cole's eyes. "Then we fight together, starting with every email we've actually exchanged. My team will need them to compare against the forgeries." For hours they worked side by side, compiling evidence, strategizing with Cole's lawyers, preparing for the legal battle ahead. Despite everything, Skye felt a strange sense of peace. This wasn't how she'd imagined her life unfolding, but being. With Cole fighting alongside him felt right. As night fell, Cole's phone rang. His expression changed as he listened, hope dawning in his eyes. "That was Marcus, from accounting," he said after hanging up. "He thinks he's found something. Irregularities in Whitaker's expense reports dating back years. Patterns that might prove he's been embezzling company funds. Will it be enough to counter the email forgeries? Maybe not directly, but it establishes motive. If Whitaker has been stealing, he'd have reason to fear my oversight, reason to want me removed." Cole's energy was renewed. "Marcus is compiling everything now. He'll bring it to us tomorrow." For the first time since the board vote, Skye felt a glimmer of hope. "Then we might still win this." "We will win this," Cole said with quiet certainty. "Whatever it takes." Later, as they lay in bed, Cole's arms around her, Skye reflected on how dramatically her life had changed in just a few weeks. From invisible receptionist to the center of a corporate power struggle, from cautious and alone to deeply in love. "No regrets?" Cole murmured against her hair, as if reading her thoughts. Skye turned in his arms to face him. "Not one. Even knowing everything that would happen, I'd still say yes to that first night. So would I." Cole kissed her softly. "We'll get through this, Skye, and when it's over, when we've won, we'll build something amazing together. Promise," she whispered. "Promise." Outside, the city lights twinkled against the night sky, a vast constellation of possibilities stretching before them. Whatever challenges tomorrow brought, they would face them together, no longer pretending, but real. Completely, wonderfully real. Skye paced the small conference room, checking her phone every few minutes. 2 hours had passed since Cole returned to the board meeting, and she'd heard nothing. Outside, the sky darkened as night fell over the city, matching her growing sense of dread. Finally, the door opened. Patricia entered, her usually composed face showing strain. "Ms. Daniels, Cole asked me to take you home. The meeting is still ongoing." "I want to wait for him," Skye insisted. Patricia shook her head. "It could be hours yet, and there are reporters gathering in the lobby. It would be better if you weren't seen here." Reluctantly, Skye agreed. Patricia escorted her through a service exit to avoid the press, and a car took her back to her apartment. Unable to sleep, Skye stayed up watching the financial news. Every channel was covering the crisis at Remington Holdings, with speculation rampant about Cole's future. Around midnight, her phone rang. "Cole? It's me." His voice sounded hollow, exhausted. "The vote has been postponed. Whitaker couldn't secure enough support to remove me immediately, but several board members want time to investigate his claims. That's good news, right? It's a reprieve, not a victory." She heard him sigh. "Whitaker is meeting with board members individually, trying to sway them. And Kingston has raised their offer for Elegant Spaces again, making it harder for me to justify keeping it." "What can I do?" Skye asked, feeling helpless. "Your bank statements showing my personal payment might help, but mostly..." His voice softened. "Mostly I just need to know you're still with me." "Always," she promised. "No matter what happens. I'll send a courier for those bank statements in the morning. Get some sleep, Skye. Tomorrow will be another battle." But sleep wouldn't come. Skye lay awake, her mind racing. There had to be something more she could do to help Cole fight Whitaker. If the allegations centered on their relationship, surely she had some power to counter them. An idea began to form. It was risky, potentially career-ending, but if it worked... In the morning, Skye called David to say she'd be late. Then she made another call to Megan, who worked as a paralegal at a prestigious law firm. "I need legal advice," Skye explained, "and I don't have much time." Megan arranged for her to meet with a lawyer who specialized in corporate cases. By 9, Skye was sitting in a sleek office explaining the situation. "So you believe Mr. Whitaker falsified documents to frame Mr. Remington?" The lawyer, Ms. Patel, clarified. "Yes, and I think he's been embezzling from the company for years. Cole, Mr. Remington, was getting close to proving it." Ms. Patel made notes. "That's a serious accusation. Do you have evidence?" "No, but Cole might, if we can buy him time to find it. I understand you have bank statements showing the payment came from Mr. Remington's personal account." Skye nodded, sliding the documents across the desk. "That's helpful, but not definitive. Whitaker could claim there were other payments." Ms. Patel studied Skye thoughtfully. "What exactly are you hoping to achieve here, Ms. Daniels?" "I want to protect Cole and expose Whitaker, even if it means..." Skye took a deep breath. "Even if it means going public with our story." The lawyer's eyebrows rose. "You'd be willing to face that level of scrutiny? If it helps Cole, yes." Ms. Patel smiled slightly. "You must love him very much." "I do." "Then let's figure out a strategy." By noon, Skye had a plan. She sent Cole's courier away with not only her bank statements, but a sealed letter outlining her intentions. Then she went to work, trying to focus on her design assignments while waiting for Cole's response. It came mid-afternoon. Not a call, but Cole himself appearing at her desk with tension radiating from every line of his body. "We need to talk," he said quietly. "Now." Ignoring the curious stares of her colleagues, Skye followed him to an empty conference room. "Absolutely not," Cole said the moment the door closed. "I won't let you sacrifice yourself for me." "It's my choice, Cole. Do you understand what you're proposing? Going public with every detail of our relationship, opening yourself up to scrutiny, judgment. The press would tear you apart." "Let them try," Skye said, lifting her chin. "I'm not ashamed of anything." "It's not about shame." Cole's voice rose, then he caught himself. "Skye, I love you too much to watch you go through that. and I love you too much to stand by while Whitaker destroys everything you've built. She moved closer, taking his hands. This isn't just about you anymore, it's about us, about what we're building together. Cole's expression softened. We've only known each other a few weeks, and yet I've never been more certain of anything in my life. Sky squeezed his hands. Trust me, Cole, I can handle this. What about your career? If you speak out now, it could affect your future in design. Maybe. Or maybe people will respect my honesty. She smiled slightly. Besides, I have a pretty good reference. Cole pulled her into his arms. You're the bravest person I've ever known, Sky Daniels. Is that a yes? He pulled back, searching her eyes. If at any point it becomes too much, we stop. Promise me. I promise. The plan moved quickly. Cole's PR team arranged an exclusive interview with a respected business journalist for that evening. The timing was crucial. The story needed to break before the board reconvened the next morning. At 7, Sky sat beside Cole in his penthouse. As cameras were set up, she wore a simple blue dress, her hair loose around her shoulders. Cole, in a dark suit without a tie, looked both authoritative and approachable. Ready? He whispered. Sky nodded, though her heart pounded. The journalist, Emma Chen, had a reputation for tough but fair interviews. This wouldn't be easy. Mr. Remington, Ms. Daniels, Emma began once the cameras were rolling. Thank you for speaking with us during what must be a difficult time. Thank you for the opportunity to set the record straight, Cole replied smoothly. Let's address the allegations directly. Did you, Mr. Remington, pay Ms. Daniels to pretend to be your girlfriend? Cole glanced at Sky, then answered honestly. I did ask Sky to accompany me to the Rivera Gala, and I offered compensation for her time. It was a professional arrangement, paid from my personal funds, not company money. And why did you feel the need to bring a date to this event? The board had expressed concerns about my public image. I thought having someone accompany me would soften that perception. Cole's smile turned self-deprecating. It wasn't my most brilliant idea. Ms. Daniels, why did you agree to this arrangement? Sky took a deep breath. Honestly? For the money. I'm putting myself through design school, and $10,000 would cover my tuition. But I made it clear to Mr. Remington that I wouldn't lie or pretend to be in love with him. And yet now you are in a relationship. Yes, Sky said simply. Something neither of us expected happened at that gala. We connected, really connected. What started as a business arrangement became something real. Some might find that hard to believe, Emma pressed. How do you respond to allegations that your relationship is a publicity stunt gone wrong? Cole answered this time. I understand the skepticism. In my position, people often have ulterior motives for getting close to me, but with Sky. He looked at her, his eyes softer than Sky had ever seen them. With Sky, I found someone who saw past the CEO, past the Remington name, to the man underneath. That's incredibly rare in my world. And what about your recent promotion, Ms. Daniels? Critics suggest it came directly as a result of your relationship with Mr. Remington. Sky had been expecting this question. My qualifications for the design assistant program existed before I met Cole. I've completed half of my design degree with a 4.0 GPA, and I've done independent design work for years. Did knowing Cole accelerate the timing? Probably, but I'll prove my worth through my work, not my relationship. The interview continued for nearly an hour, with Emma probing deeper into their story, their backgrounds, and the allegations against Cole. Throughout, they remained open and honest, neither hiding the unconventional nature of their beginning, nor apologizing for the genuine relationship it had become. One final question, Emma said. Mr. Remington, there are rumors that these allegations are part of a larger effort by Thomas Whitaker to gain control of Remington Holdings. Would you care to comment? Cole's expression turned serious. I believe Mr. Whitaker has a different vision for the company than I do. I'm committed to sustainable growth that protects our employees and maintains the quality of our brands. Others might prioritize short-term profits over long-term stability. That's a diplomatic answer, Emma noted. It's the only answer I can give at this time, Cole replied carefully. But I will add that our legal team is investigating certain financial discrepancies that came to light during my tenure as CEO. It was as close as he could come to accusing Whitaker of embezzlement without proof, a warning shot that the board would understand. After the cameras stopped rolling, Emma shook their hands. That was surprisingly convincing. For what it's worth, I believe you. Will that come across in the piece? Cole asked. I report facts, not opinions, but yes, I think viewers will reach the same conclusion I did. Emma smiled at Skye. You're either the most genuine person in New York or the best actress I've ever met. She's the real deal, Cole said, wrapping an arm around Skye's shoulders. Once the crew had packed up and left, Skye collapsed onto the couch, emotionally drained. You were amazing, Cole said, sitting beside her. Honest, articulate, strong. I was terrified, she admitted. Still am. What if this backfires? What if the board doesn't believe us? Then I'll fight them in court. Remington Holdings is my company, my legacy. I won't let Whitaker steal it. He pulled her close. But whatever happens with the company, I won't lose you. That's what matters most. Skye rested her head on his shoulder, taking comfort in his strength. When will the interview air? Tomorrow morning before the board meeting. Cole stroked her hair. In the meantime, we need to prepare for all possibilities. They spent the next few hours discussing contingency plans. If Cole lost the board vote, he would need to fight legally to prove Whitaker's fraud. If he won, he would still face challenges rebuilding trust with investors and clients. What about us? Skye asked as midnight approached. If things go badly tomorrow, nothing changes, Cole said firmly. I love you, Skye. That doesn't depend on my position at Remington Holdings. His certainty comforted her. Whatever tomorrow brought, they would face it together. In the morning, their interview aired during the financial news hour. Skye watched nervously from Cole's penthouse while he prepared for the board meeting. Initial reactions on social media seemed positive. Many viewers found their story compelling, even romantic. The board meeting starts in an hour, Cole said, checking his watch. I should go. Skye stood, straightening his tie. Fight for your company. I'll be waiting. He kissed her deeply. I love you. I love you too. After Cole left, Skye tried to distract herself by working on design sketches, but concentration was impossible. She paced the penthouse, checking her phone constantly. For updates around noon, Patricia called. The interview is making waves. Several board members who were leaning toward Whitaker are reconsidering. That's good news, right? It helps, but Whitaker isn't backing down. He's claiming the interview was staged, the emotion fake. Skye's heart sank. Will Cole lose the vote? It's too close to call, Patricia admitted. But there's something else. Someone from accounting came forward this morning with evidence supporting Cole's suspicions about financial irregularities under Whitaker's oversight. Hope surged in Skye's chest. Really? Who? A junior accountant named Marcus Lee. Apparently, he's been gathering evidence for months but was afraid to come forward. Seeing your interview changed his mind. Skye felt a wave of gratitude for this stranger who had taken a risk to help Cole. What happens now? The board is reviewing Marcus's evidence. It'll be a long day. Hours passed with no further news. Skye tried calling Cole, but his phone went straight to voicemail. By evening, she was frantic with worry. Then, just after 8, she heard keys in the door. Cole entered, his expression unreadable. Skye rushed to him. What happened? I've been so worried. Cole looked at her for a long moment, then a slow smile spread across his face. Whitaker resigned. What? Skye gasped. How? Marcus Lee's evidence was damning. Bank transfers, doctored reports, a paper trail leading straight to offshore accounts in Whitaker's name. Cole shook his head in amazement. He'd been stealing from the company for years, millions of dollars. When confronted, he had no defense. So, you won? I won. The board voted unanimously to reject his allegations against me and to launch a full investigation into his activities. Cole pulled her into his arms. And I have you to thank. Me? I didn't do anything. It was Marcus who had the evidence. Marcus wouldn't have come forward without your interview. He said watching you stand up for the truth inspired him to do the same. Cole's eyes were warm with pride. You saved Remington Holdings, Skye, and me. Overwhelmed, Skye couldn't speak. She'd been prepared to fight, to weather a storm of public scrutiny for Cole's sake. Instead, their honesty had inspired someone else to be brave, creating a ripple effect none of them could have predicted. "What about Elegant Spaces?" she asked, when she found her voice. "Is it safe?" "More than safe. The board has approved my expansion plan, the one we worked on together. They were impressed with the vision and strategy." Joy bubbled up in Sky's chest. "Cole, that's wonderful." He lifted her off her feet in a spinning hug, both of them laughing with relief and happiness. When he set her down, his expression turned serious. "There's something else we need to talk about." The job offer. Sky's smile faded. "You're withdrawing." No, I'm asking if you still want it, knowing what you know now." Cole took her hands. "You're talented, Sky. You deserve that position. But I'd understand if you wanted to make your own way, separate from Remington Holdings." She considered his words. The past weeks had taught her that she was stronger than she'd realized, capable of standing up for herself and what she believed in. Perhaps she didn't need to choose between her relationship with Cole and her career dreams. "I want the position," she said firmly. "I'll prove my worth through my work, not through who I know or love. But Cole, I need your promise on something." "Anything. I need to know I'll be treated like any other employee. No special favors, no allowances. I need to earn my success." Cole nodded. "I promise." "In fact, I'll make sure David knows to be extra hard on you," she laughed. "Not that extreme. Whatever you want, Sky. I just want you to be happy." "I am happy. With you." The next morning, they returned to work separately. Cole to Remington Tower to begin damage control. Sky to Elegant Spaces to continue her design training. News of Whitaker's resignation and the reasons behind it had broken overnight, shifting public attention away from Cole and Sky's relationship to the more sensational corporate scandal. At work, Sky found the atmosphere noticeably different. Colleagues who had whispered behind her back now offered congratulations or pretended they'd never doubted her. David assigned her to a major client project, a true test of her abilities. "You deserve the chance to prove yourself," he said simply. "Fersi fupitiu, vrani proberis, and from what I've seen you will." By week's end, the worst of the storm had passed. Cole was busy restructuring the board and implementing new financial oversight measures. Sky was deep into her first major design project, loving the creative challenges it presented. Friday evening, Cole picked her up from work. "Ready for our getaway? The mountain resort is expecting us." "More than ready," Sky said, tired but happy. A weekend of peace sounds perfect. The resort was everything they'd hoped for. Secluded, beautiful, with spectacular views of forested mountains. Their cabin had a stone fireplace and a private deck overlooking a pristine lake. As they sat on the deck watching the sunset on their first evening, Cole seemed thoughtful. "What are you thinking about?" Sky asked, curled against his side. "How strange life is. If I hadn't asked you to that gala, if I hadn't said yes, we might never have known what we could be together." Cole turned to face her. "These past weeks have been the most chaotic of my life, but also the most meaningful. You changed everything, Sky. You changed everything for me too." She smiled. "Who would have thought that playing a part for one night would lead to this?" "I knew there was something special about you from the first moment," Cole said softly. "The way you looked at me, really saw me. No one had done that in a very long time." Sky thought about the journey they'd taken together, from strangers to business arrangement to lovers fighting side by side against those who would tear them apart. It hadn't been easy, but it had been real, more real than anything she'd ever experienced. "What happens now?" she asked. "After all the drama, all the fighting, what comes next for us?" Cole reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Sky's breath caught as he opened it, revealing a simple but stunning diamond ring. "Cole, I know it's fast," he said quickly. "Too fast, probably. And I'm not asking you to marry me tomorrow or even next year. But Sky Daniels, I know with absolute certainty that you're the one I want to spend my life with. This ring is a promise that whatever comes next, we face it together." Tears filled Sky's eyes. 6 weeks ago, she had been invisible Sky Daniels, the receptionist rebuilding her life after a toxic relationship. Now she was here with this man who saw her, valued her, loved her for exactly who she was. Yes, she whispered. "It's a promise." Cole slipped the ring onto her finger, then kissed her with such tenderness it brought fresh tears to her eyes. As night fell over the mountains, Skye marveled at how life could change so completely in such a short time. She had agreed to play a part in Cole's life for one night, never expecting to find her true self and true love in the process. Some might say their story was too fast, too intense to be real. But Skye knew better. Real love didn't follow rules or timetables. It simply was, unexpected, transformative, and worth fighting for. And as Cole held her close under the starlit sky, Skye knew that the part she'd never meant to play had become the role of a lifetime. Being herself, being loved and loving completely in return. The end.